And welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen, to another very special episode of Gymnastics for Everybody podcast with our one of our favorite returning co-hosts is Oscar. Say hi, Oscar.
Hi everyone, hi Makayla.
Hi,
Happy to be back.
friend.
How are you?
Perfect. And I'm doing well. I'm doing well. And today, you guys, we are going to have a deep dive into a little bit of gymnastics history. We are going to talk about basically the entire 1995 gymnastics season. Now, I know 1995 was an extremely long time ago in the gymnastics realm of history. It was still the 10.0 scoring system. It was still the old flat vaulting table. Well, no, what was it? Vaulting horse. What did they used to call it?
The
I think it
tongue?
was a horse.
No, the tongue is the new one. The old one is the
Yeah,
horse.
yeah.
Yeah.
The new vaulting horse, the old vaulting horse. And we are going to journey all the way back, you guys, to 1995. And why are we going to go back to 1995 specifically out of all 4 years in the 90s squad? Because I feel like the 1995 code, I mean, not code, the 1995 year changed the way gymnastics happened even to this day. It was beforehand. And what we're going to do is everybody who's watching, there is this wonderful gymnastics channel. The guy's name is Ollie. His channel is
I think
OG.
his name is Wally with the W.
His name is Wally, not Ollie. I'm so sorry. His name is Wally, and his gymnastics channel is OG.
Can I help?
Yes, please.
It's the Sov GC, so maybe the Sov Gymnastics channel. That's how I read it, but SOVGC with the
Correct.
word
So,
the.
and we love them very much. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play an audio clip because we're not playing videos, but I'm going to play him explaining the code of points of that quad. So the 1995 year is when people started to figure out the code of points, right? Even we see it in this their age, right? The first 2 years when they announced the new code of points, scores are typically lower. People are still trying to figure out what combinations it takes to get to a higher start value. And what was so critical between 89 and 92 and 93 and 96 was you used to automatically start from a 10.0 and they would deduct from there. This was the first code where you didn't auto, if you fulfilled all the requirements, you started from a 9 point, I believe it was a 9.4. We're going to play his video so because he explains it very well, more well than I'm going to ever explain it. And then you had to build to get to a 10, and then you started getting deductions from there, which was something that never used to happen. You just used to go out. As long as you fulfilled all the requirements, your routine started from a 10.0. It was extremely messy back then. So in 1995, before we start off with the code of points, in 1995, what also happened is a lot of people was like, dang, the Olympics is in 2 years. Let me get my SHIT together and let me get ready for the Olympics. So we had a lot of people returning back to the sport in 1995. We had Svetlana Boganskaya returning back, and now she was competing for Belarus. Well, hell, before we even get to there, we have to talk about it. After 1992, the Soviet Union fell apart. The last Soviet team was not even the Soviet Union, it was the unified team, which competed in 1992. So after in 1993, then we had the Russian Federation, which was the very first year that the Russian team competed as the team from Russia, not the Soviets, but Russia. But also in that fall of the Russian gymnastics, the Soviet gymnastics empire, the Russia got most of the gymnastics talents, but in that quad, the Ukrainians got a lot of the gymnastics talents too. Not as much as Russia, but enough to have a strong team still. The Belarusians also got some of the gymnastics talent, but other than Elena Piskun and Spelana Boganskaya coming back, their team really wasn't hitting for nothing like that. So, after the 1994 World Championships, the top team in the world was Romania. The second best team in the world was the Americans. The third best team was Russia, and the fourth best team, I think it was China, but it might have been Ukraine, and China might have been fifth after 94. But I believe, Oscar, can you look it up for me real quick, friend?
Yeah, 94, the team final was, I think what you said, Romania, USA, Russia.
Okay. So going into the 1995 season, Shannon Miller was the world all-around champion. Dominique Dawes was in fifth in the world at this point. Milosevic was the second best person in the world.
Sorry,
Dinos
this is
Kochakova
going into 95?
into the 1990 yes, going into the 1995 season. Dina Kochakova is the third best gymnast in the world. Gina Gojian is fourth. Dominique Dawes is fifth. Um, they tweaked some of the rules between 94 and 95. No longer was that Yurchenko half worth a 10.0. That Yurchenko half was now worth a 9.9. The 10.0 vault that you had to do was either the Yurchenko 1.5 or the Yurchenko double. But that Yurchenko Arabian half that everybody was doing in 93 and 94 was devalued.
In the middle of the quad.
In the middle of the quad.
How unique. Or maybe not, but I can't think of other times. Other examples.
I really can't think of any other time when they were like, well, dang, y'all just all just went from the Yurchenko 4 to the Yurchenko Arabian. Okay, no, that's no. So, the very first meet of that quad that everybody got to view was Scams, the 1995 Scams. And the 1995 Scams was featuring the new rising upcomer of Christy Powell. Yeah, that's right. Who is Christy Powell? See, in 1995, Tom Forster had a gymnast named Christy Powell. Yeah, Tom Forster had lots of gymnasts. Tom Forster had a good. He was basically Gage back then, right? None of his girls was like A-tier gymnasts, but all of his girls could have made team. So back then, the Forsters, whatever they was calling themselves, was basically Gage gymnastics. Right now, the placeholders of Gage, right? So they had this young junior who was turning senior named Christy Powell. So she went to Scams, right? So Christy was supposed to be the replacement for Amanda Borden. Amanda Borden was supposed to be fading into the sunset. Her time has come for USA Gymnastics, and she was getting ready to be pushed out by the likes of Christy Powell and Donnie Thompson and some other girls. So then we get to 1995 Scams. So at 1995 Scams, we had Christy Powell and Amanda Borden. Now, both of them outscored Shannon Miller to part.
Sorry.
No. What's that? Say what you were going to say.
Oh, I was just going to say that Cecile Landy was in fourth there also. Random.
Cecile Landy was also at Scams. That's right. That's right. So, before I go too much into Scams, let me find all these. Wally, I'm so sorry. So.
Oh, wow, can I read the winning scores on the events at Scams that year?
Yes, please.
Vault, Christy Powell won with a 9.85. Bars, Christy won with, which was what?
Ridiculous.
Right. And she also won bars with a 9.825. And then Amanda Borden won beam and floor with 9.85s. Could have been Olympic champion with those scores.
I'm telling you. What's his channel? Oh my gosh, why can't I find his channel that I'm looking for? What was his channel name again, Oscar? I'm so sorry.
VSOVGC. V as
VSOG.
in, yeah, like the.
Because he does such a great job.
Do you want me to send it to you?
Please, friend, please. I'm so sorry. I'm struggling so hard. I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm so sorry.
No worries.
So, Christy Powell was at Scams. So, Christy Powell was scoring some damn Olympic level scores for those routines. Now, I'm not saying that. I am saying I don't think she won that competition. I think Anna Maria Bacon won that competition hands down, clearly.
She
But
stuck all her landings. I don't know
it's
if you
Scams. So
remember that routine.
oh yes, it was freaking like Mama did a Yurchenko double twist at Scams and was scoring less than Christy Powell did a Yurchenko 1.5. That was very not laid out and had a huge hop and all of this other good stuff.
The Trenton family is big on holiday traditions, and Haverty's helped them find furniture.
I need to rewatch that Christy Powell's vaults that got her a 985. That's just like unheard of.
And I think under We Love Gymnastics, we watched this. We watched this before. So you guys, we're gonna listen to Wally. We're gonna listen to him explain the call the planks from that year before we get delve too deep into topics, because it's lots of stuff to talk about from that year, because lots of stuff happened.
I love that era.
Huge departure from
Can y'all hear it?
iterations. No longer would
Yeah, but you
originality
should restart it.
system. If a gymnast
We started.
routine includes
Okay. Y'all ready? Here we go.
for 96 Europeans, today we are here for the 1993 World Gymnastics Championships, the first major competition of the new quadrennium. The 1993 Code of Points was a huge departure from previous iterations. No longer would originality factor into the bonification system. If a gymnast routine included all of the mandatory special requirements and value parts, her maximum score would be 9.4, meaning an additional 0.6 would be able to be gained via bonus points. There were now strictly two different avenues to obtain bonus points. One, special connections, in which a gymnast could obtain by connecting skills of varying difficulty, and two, additional D&E elements from the ones already required for that phase of the competition. Each additional D element would be worth 1/10, and any E element would be worth 2/10 in bonus. Now, it is very important to point out that a maximum of 3/10 could be obtained from each avenue of bonification. So a gymnast was only allowed to obtain up to 3/10 via special connections and only 3/10 via additional D and E elements. And that is what made this code really interesting, challenging, and fascinating when it came to evaluating start values, as we'll see in this very balanced beam final. The first year of a new code generally results in lower scores as coaches and gymnasts figure out the best way to construct their routines to fulfill the new requirements. In many ways, the 1993 code felt akin to the Disney movie Aladdin. It really was a whole new world. Gone were the days where everybody started out of a 10 and it would come down to the minor nitpicks and the little issues that would separate the gymnasts, where subjectivity played such a major role. From this moment forward, start values would have a huge impact on determining the results and the medalists. The FIG had played around with an individual world championships the prior year in 1990.
Okay, I think that's basically the gist of the code of points from that year. So do y'all get it? So you see how we have it. You can get your difficulty through acrobatic skills or dance skills now. So that's basically you could get your points through special connections, which were basically acro series or tumbles or whatever, or for bars, being bar connections or whatever, or through individual skills. D's was worth 0.1, which are the same as now. E's are worth 0.2, the same as now. There were no supers, there were no F skills, nothing was higher than an E. So there was no point in doing a triple double back then because at the end of the day, it was just going to be an E, the same as a double layout. So you need to get six tenths of a point from bonus, right? So if you fulfilled all the requirements, you only started at a 9.4. So then you needed to get 3/10 of a point through a tumbling series, get some extra D points from like throwing an extra D leap or extra punch front, something like. So you need to gather 6/10 of a point. And this was the first time in history that was an issue. As long as you fulfilled the requirements back in the days, your routine used to start from a 10.0. And then, the judges would put some extra seasoning on it if you did some extra hard skills, right? So in 1995, the girls was getting a grasp of that code of points and was being able to put together routines that started from a 10.0. This is why Oscar just read Christy Powell's score from Scams. The reason why she was scoring so high is because they were kind of giving her, first of all, it was Scams, but secondly, her routines were scoring from a 10.0. So it was like, wow, finally, a girl who got all her routines starting at a 10.0. So after Scams, where Christy Powell won this competition, there was another young lady who I forgot to mention at the beginning of the show that it's not her return, but she made her debut, which is Dominique Mucciano. And that is the next competition that I want to talk about because Dominique Mucciano and Svetlana Boginskaya Dominique Mucciano, her elite gymnastics debut, and Svetlana Boginskaya, her combat debut. I'm so sorry. In this competition, I think it was called the Hilton Challenge. It used to be a very big thing. It used to come on ABC. See, and back then we used to have way more competitions than we have now. Like that people used to, like in America, I think we have more competitions than we used to have now, but we used to have more competitions in America. So they used to play more competitions on TV. So we had this Hilton Challenge. It was featuring Dominique Dawes, and this was supposed to be her bye-bye from Elite Gymnastics competition. It was supposed to be Dominique Mucciano. This was supposed to be her.
Retiring the year before the Olympics.
Dominique Dawes was supposed to do elite gymnastics, not elite, NCAA gymnastics. She thought she was going to go to Stanford and build Stanford gymnastics. But
Right,
I think Kelly Hill. But I think Kelly Hill was like, look, Dominique, arguably you're the best girl in America right now. Why would you retire right now, girl? Like, it's only 2 more years. Like, stick around. And I think Dominique was like, you know what? Damn it, it is only 2 more years. So I think Dominique Dawes was done after 94. Like, after her disappointments at Worlds, well, I think she was just done. But then I think she had the 94 Team Worlds where she did great, where she would have been the world champion if it was an all-around competition at that meet. And I think, I just don't, to be honest, I don't know. She was older. I don't think she felt like she could hold on. I just don't know.
How far had she gone with her retirement or whatever? She had
She
officially
completely
announced it and stopped
Yeah,
training?
she announced it. After, I think it was the Hilton Challenge, that was her goodbye elite gymnastics. I'm going to college. See you later, bye. But then she came back for nationals that year. So I don't know what happened in between there.
Oh, almost like Kayla DiCello, or like essence of Kayla DiCello.
because she never competed in that one NCAA meet. So I don't know what happened.
Did she even move out there?
I think she moved out there. I think she started taking classes, but then she went back to Maryland and finished her degree at the local Maryland school when she was with Kelly Hill.
Wow, I did not know that. There's so much about Dominique's career that interests me, and so much that I still don't know, even though I've
So
spent a great deal of time learning.
I know. So at the Hilton Challenge, Dominique Luciano came out on top. I think Svetlana Boganskaya came in second. I don't think Dominique Dawes did the all around there. And it was a bunch of other people there. They just wasn't a factor. So we're just going to move on. So then we had the 1995. I don't know which meet came first, but this is the meet that came to my heart first. So this is what we're talking about. We had the 1995 Pan American Games, which was big. This was Amy Child's big coming out party I think she was a senior in 94, but this was her big coming out party. Like, okay, I got my skills together. I'm not just out here falling on everything. Like, okay, I could be that girl. So the one who was featured in the 1995, and again, still remember, 1995, USA Gymnastics was making it very clear. This was Amanda Borden's swan song. They were sending her to all these competitions. Amanda Borden was falling a lot everywhere on everything. She was upgrading some things too, but then she was progressing on some things, but on some things she was deteriorating. So at this point, we thought Christy Powell, maybe Donnie Thompson was going to be able to edge Amanda Borden on out of here. And then also, J.C. Phelps was coming on really strong in 1995 too. So 1995 was really the beginning of the ball rolling of who was going to make the Olympic team. Like, not just who was going to make a world's team or who was going to make national teams, but who was going to make the Olympic team.
Can I ask you about those two girls a question?
Yes, okay, go ahead.
For JC and Amanda, which event do you think was their best event, and which event had the highest scoring potential? Was it the same?
Jace, for Amanda, see, I'm not sure why they didn't use Amanda on uneven bars, because every Worlds that Amanda made, she made uneven bars final. But I think Amanda's best two events was bars and beam. I think
I would have said beam, yeah.
JC Phelps, I give it to her. She was an all-arounder. I give it to her. She was pretty, other than vault, she was pretty equal on all her other events.
Her vault was her worst or her weakest?
Yes.
Huh.
In my opinion.
Right, that's what I asked for. Thank you.
I always have to make that clear because people like to take what I say as gospel. Like, so I have to make it clear. In my opinion. So we went to the 1995 Pan American Games. I don't know where it was held at, but Shannon Miller won because Amy Child was coming on strong in 1995. You guys. Amy Child was around here slaying these kids down. Amy Child would have beaten Shannon Miller if Amy Child had not have fallen on beam in that competition.
In the all around or the event final?
All around, yeah. In the all around.
Because Amanda was ahead of her. Oh, she would have beat both of them, you're saying?
Yes. But everybody was falling, so all things being consistent, if everybody wouldn't have not fallen, I think Shannon still would have won. But if Shannon would have fallen and Amy would have not fallen, Amy would have beaten her. And please go back to that 1995 Pan American game, uneven bar routine. I promise y'all that is Amy Child's best uneven bar routine y'all will ever see her do in her life.
They were in Argentina, by the way. Do you remember how you were following the championships?
I wasn't. I didn't even know this competition happened because back then you only knew. I mean, I'm sure people older. Okay, even back in 1995, I think I was only like 14 years old. So
Yeah.
I already knew what they played on TV. We didn't have the internet or the gymternet like we have back then to know what was going on. So if they didn't talk about it, if they didn't talk about it on the USA Gymnastics website, I mean, I just didn't know about it.
When do you think how long do you think it took you for you to rewatch it? Or have you not rewatched it?
I've saw it several times. YouTube, because I was like, okay, when I found gymnastics on YouTube, I'm like, okay, well, if they have a Pan American Games now, I wonder if they had one back then, and I wonder who they sent. So, I just started researching all of the errors or whatever. That's how I've caught up.
No, that's what I would have guessed because that's what I did also. But I'm asking, what year do you think you first rewatched the Pan Am Games? These 1995 Pan Ams.
Probably 2011, because that's when I started paying attention to the Pan American Games.
Okay, that's interesting to me. Thanks. Amy Chow, bronze all-around medalist, 1995 Pan Ams.
Yeah, I think she came in bronze behind Shannon and Amanda, but she would have won if not for a damn beam fall. She was
And
so close.
Cuba won the silver medal with the team. Anya Portmundo Hatch, she was on their team. She
Yeah,
was their superstar.
yes, she was. And see, back then, if y'all think Canada is struggling now, Canada was definitely nowhere near a factor in back then. Pan American Games was basically Team USA and everybody else, right? It did.
Was that when Yvonne Tusek was competing?
Yes, she had to because she made the '96 team. So either
Was
she
she,
turns.
was she the more who was more successful, like at a world level, Yvonne or Stella Ume?
Stella.
Stella. She made more finals and stuff like that.
But they didn't. Their careers didn't overlap. I think Stella had retired when Yvonne was a senior.
Oh, okay, like after Barcelona or something.
I think Stella did one more Worlds after Barcelona, then retired and went to UCLA, and then Ivana
Yvonne.
came up, yeah, turned senior like later on that same quad, but I don't think their careers overlapped.
I think both of them. I feel like Stella's more known for being underrated, but
Hmm.
Yvonne is an underrated gymnast for me.
She absolutely is. So, moving on. So, so if you haven't seen it, please go back and watch the 1995 Pan American Games. Shannon Miller did this floor routine that to me was probably one of her best floor routines ever, but for whatever reason, Steve Noodle said it wasn't enough violins, bitch. So they changed that shit very quickly. Um,
It wasn't the like jazz routine she had, was it? I think
mhm.
she was younger. Oh no, it was that one.
She had two jazzy routines. She had one when she first turned senior, but then
That's the one I'm thinking of.
she had one in '95. It was very brief. I think she only competed it at Pan American Games and maybe at one exhibition, and then they went to that other music they used in '95 for World.
Do you read Inside Gymnastics?
Sometimes.
You know how Shannon has like a column in there?
Hmm.
She wrote about how she felt like she was forced to do the non-classic, like the non-violin music, and she like never really got into it because it wasn't music she didn't like it. So I'm just guessing it was her choice to change the music, the routine.
Maybe. Maybe. I just wish the girls back then had the variety of music like they have now. Like they could use like vocals and like the whole music, not just like the instrumental part, but like different pieces of music. But some people
Who
like it
does
better.
who does that besides like Shilese? Like that you an example that you enjoy. maybe the Dutch girls. I don't know.
Melnikova?
Oh yeah, sure. That's totally valid.
Okay. So, everybody who follows my channel know I just did a video about the time that Amy Chow beat Dominique Dawes in the all around. So I was mistaken. Dominique Dawes came back in this competition. I think we watched it over there with WLG before. But we watched the 1992 competition, but they also held this budget rental car invitational in 1995 too. And this was Dominique Dawes saying, okay, yeah, I'm coming back to, I know I stopped, I know I said retire, and I know I retired for like 4 months, but I'm back. So Dominique Dawes came back to this thing called the Budget Rental Car Invitational, and they thought she was going to serve, but Amy Chow was also there, and they was like, oh no, we have a young lady named Amy Chazal, and Amy Chazal is not playing with you guys in the 1995 gymnastics season. So Amy Chow came there and she actually beat Dominique Dawes in the all-around head up. Now Dominique Dawes had some minor errors on beam, but yeah, Amy Chow beat Dominique Dawes. It was, and you know what's the crazy part about this competition too? NBC did not play it. They played the men's side, but they did not play the women's side, and I can never figure out for the life of me why.
Maybe they wanted to preserve Dominique's golden image.
Oh no, they talked about Amy beating her in the highlight reel, but they didn't play the competition. They just played the men's side of the competition. I don't know, maybe because it was more, maybe because the Ukrainian males team was stronger than the Romanian women's. I mean, not Romanian, Ukrainian men's team was stronger than the Ukrainian women's team because it was a head up. It was the America versus Ukraine.
Okay. I can't think of any Ukrainian stars, even though there were some. Who were the men's stars?
Don't make me lie. I can tell you who some of the women's stars were that were there.
I know, but not the men. But they definitely existed. So
yes.
did Dominique, like, how close to team and even better?
It was just beam because Dominique got a 9.9 on bars. She got a 9.85 on vault. She got a 9.85 on floor. She just had two wobbles. She had a wobble on, I think, her front tuck, or maybe her back handspring, lay out, step out, lay out, step out, lay out, step out. And then she was doing a double turn in that meet, and she had an issue with the double turn. And instead of doing her full twist and double back, she only did a double tuck, and she scored a 9.525. And Amy was scoring like between 9.75 and 9.85 on all of her events.
Oh, okay. So it sounds like that's about as good as she could do for score.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So going into nationals, we're thinking, yay, Dominique Dawes is back. Damn, Amy Chow, you look like that girl this year. Like, girl, what's it? Then we also have Dominique Mucciano, who's looking like, well, damn, Dominique Mucciano, hello, welcome to USA Gymnastics. I'm glad you turned senior. And then we have our top girls who USA Gymnastics kind of was like, they're fading away. We have Amanda Borton, who by nationals was hurt. So she wasn't even at nationals. She wasn't trying for world. Carrie Struck was here, but Carrie Struck went to Tom Forster, and they was playing with her gymnastics career over there. Dominique Dawes was back. Shannon Miller was back. Amy Chow was hurt, so Amy Chow was not at nationals. So she was out for the season. Amanda
Jenny
Borden
Thompson.
She was hurt, I think, at that point. So USA Gymnastics is looking like, we're missing some key players around here. What's the T?
Andrea Pickens.
That's how she made the world team, because After nationals, Dominique Mucciano won nationals. Shannon Miller came in second.
No, I
think
thought Dawes won nationals. Are you sure?
that was 94. This is 95. 95, Dominique Mucciano won nationals. Shannon Miller
Oh,
came in
she's the
second place.
youngest. Sorry.
JC
I
Phelps
wasn't
came in
thinking that.
third place, and Dominique Dawes was in fourth place. And everybody was like, that's weird, but we know Dominique Dawes can be better. And I think they were sending 7 people to Worlds during that quad because 7 people made the Olympic team. So those 4, we was like, okay, we're still good with those 4. Carrie's still here. She can vault. She can do floor. And then we have some of the young girls. We have Donnie Thompson, Christy Powells, Mary Beth Arnold, um, Andrea Pickens. We have some of the new girls, so we're gonna be all right. So here comes Worlds. The Worlds team. I don't know who the original World team was, but about time when the Worlds came around, the team was Shannon Miller, Dominique Mucciano, J.C. Phelps, Carrie Struck, Andrea Pickens, Donnie Thompson, and I think Teresa Kurakowski.
Wait, is
Because,
Donnie Thompson a different person from Jenny?
yes, they're 2 different people.
Donnie.
Donnie was the better Thompson. No shade.
What about, did you talk about Monica Flammer, the Beam national champion?
In 1995, we had a young lady named Monica Flammer. She was the 1995 Beam national champion. I guess Monica Flammer, because she won Beam, her mom thought she was going to make it to the Olympic team and put all kind of pressure on Monica Flammer. Monica Flammer was like, I know the fuck you not gonna make me the fuck you who the fuck you think I am, bitch? I'm going to college and see you later. Fuck you, Olympic team. So I'm gonna drop that down to level 10 to let these people know I'm not that girl. Leave me the hell alone. So she literally dropped down to level 10 right after nationals. She was like, no ma'am, I'm not Olympics, fuck y'all. Like and that was her story. And Mama was all over the news like a possible girl who could have made the Olympics decided to quit right before. And they were saying quit. They were saying quit. And she was just like, yeah, I don't want to train 8 hours a day. I just want to, go to college and get a scholarship and live life, be a regular person. Like, I don't want to. So, yeah.
That is such
Monica.
a rare story.
Not anymore. But back then, yes. Back then, yes. Nowadays, a lot of people are telling elite gymnastics, fuck you, bitch, bye.
Right, I meant for the time. Where did she go to school? Do you know? Also, I wanted to just add that she was the co-national champion with Donnie on beam.
I'm not sure.
Miss Monica.
I want to say Utah, but I'm not sure. And I think she was so hurt when she went to college, she had to medically retire.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what happened. She didn't go to college. Her back was she ended up having to have a back surgery, and she was like, "Yeah, no, I'd rather walk. I don't give a damn about the Olympic gold medal. I would rather walk."
Huh?
So, let's break it all the way down. So, Oscar, if you could please look up who was the lineup, the 7 girls who went to Worlds that year, because I think I'm right, but I could be wrong. Because I feel like I'm forgetting somebody.
Yeah, 95. Did you already
Yeah.
say them? Oh, I don't think. Did you talk about Teresa and Mary Beth Arnold?
Yes, we talked about them, but I'm not sure if they actually made the world team or were they alternates. Because I believe the world team. Let me guess. Okay, let me guess. These are the people I remember making the world team. It was Shannon Miller, Dominique Mucciano, Carrie Strutt, J.C. Phelps, Andrea Pickens, Teresa Kulikowski, Donnie Thompson.
Wait, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, I shook. It was no, and Andrea Pickens was not chosen. Is it Andrea? Do you know?
I think it's Andrea.
Um, so Shannon, Dominique, Carrie were right, and then Donnie, JC, Mary Beth, and Teresa. They all competed in the team final.
And I thought Andrea Pickens made. Maybe she was the alternate to that team.
I just know she was Olympic alternate. I don't know about that year. I can look it up.
I think she was on that team because I remember her doing bars. Did somebody get hurt and she had to take their place? Have I learned to lie my whole life? I'm so sorry, you guys. I really thought she was on that team.
I mean, what? 1995 Worlds team final. Doesn't mean she wasn't in compulsories, does it? Or were they? Yeah.
May have. So we're gonna go with the team that's on the internet. I'm so sorry. So it wasn't Andrea Pickens, it was Mary Beth Arnold. So that team right there did good. They came in third place in the world without Dominique Dawes, without Amy Chow,
They were the
without
alternate for that year. You were right.
Andrea Pickens.
Yeah, and everything I'm reading, it's Andree. So I don't know if it's, yeah, I don't know how to say that. Andre.
I think she still pronounces it Andrea, even though it's spelled weird.
Okay.
So World Championships. After Worlds, I'm so sorry. Romania came through and cleared house at Worlds, the team finals. It wasn't even close. As much as you watch the broadcast and they're trying to make it seem like it was close, Romania was up here. Their last three routines on floor were scoring 9.9. There is no other team in the world that was capable of that feat. But what was surprising about the 1995 World Championships is China came in second place. China came into this World Championship instead by Japan and did the best Chinese team anything that they've ever done in the history. Hell, I think this Chinese team did better at this competition than they actually did at the damn Beijing Olympic team. It's just, less competition. Less competition.
A lesser competition, or the other teams were less competitive?
The other teams was less competitive than in 1995. Like that 19, I'm not saying there weren't good teams, but that 1995 and 1996 were
It was
very
more
competitive.
competitive.
Very, very.
But
Like in 2008, the only people they had to worry about was America. In 1995, you had Romania, you had America, you had the Ukrainians, you had the Russians. It was just way more competitive.
agreed.
And Americans, again, I have to keep emphasizing this. The Americans came in third place with without half of their team. So going into, because some people still made the arguments that the only reasons the Americans won in Atlanta is because it was on home soil. But if you look at the way they were second without Shannon Miller in '94. They were third without Dominique Dawes and Amy Chow and Amanda Borden in '95. So now that they had a full team in '96, it makes a lot of sense that they won.
Wait, did Shannon get hurt before the team final in '94?
No, her and Steve
No.
just was like, we just don't feel like doing team finals. We just said we were going to do compulsories. We're gone.
Oh, and whoever it was, the Caroli was okay with that?
I think Steve Nuno was the head coach at the time because Corelli was retired still at that point in time. So he was like, "Yeah, Kelly Hill, Dominique Dawes, y'all got this. See you later, bye."
That's kind of scandalous. Or it's just so different. It would be scandalous today.
Hell, we could do a whole episode about this one day, and I definitely would need Porler on that with me with that because that was a big scandal in USA Gymnastics that Shannon just left. She
Is
made
there
this whole
footage?
thing just to do. Yes, there is footage. They talked about it on the NBC. Oh my god, it was a big thing. Shannon just left. Like everybody was just
Well,
gagged. It was just like
it's one thing to leave your team, but then it's another thing to leave your team and then also were the individuals before or after?
see, that's the thing. This is why everybody. This is why because in 1994 they did the individual world championships the first half of the year, and then they did team
Right.
world championships the last half of the year. So the individual events already happened. So this world championships was just about the team. So they felt like Shannon Miller was a selfish ass bitch because if it was team finals and all around finals, you would have stayed and did everything. But because it's just about the team and you don't feel like we were gonna win shit, you left. But guess what? Team USA ended up coming in second place in that competition.
When has
They
that
might have
ever
won the
happened in USA Gymnastics that someone has like
I
allowed to
really
be
think.
such a non-team player?
Well, and Shannon Miller and Steve and Shannon Miller's and Shannon Miller and Steve Nuno's defense. Their argument is we told y'all Shannon is tired. She is kind of beat up. She would like to rest this damn time of the year. But y'all are forcing us to do this because y'all want us to win this team medals. We can only give y'all compulsories. Shannon is not ready to give y'all full out optional routine. And they saying, and Shannon and Steve said USA Gymnastics agreed to it. And they feel like it's not their fault that they did not relay this message to the rest of the team. That Shannon said she's only doing compulsories.
Of course, USAG agreed to it. If that conversation even ever needed to take place or ever took place because it didn't need to. Like Steve Nuno, you just described his position of power. And Shannon Miller at that time is what she's like, isn't she the most successful? Or she's back-to-back world all-around champion, Olympic
She's
silver
the most
medalist.
powerful gymnast in the world at that moment in time.
Right, not just the country, the world.
So they were like, "Fuck this shit, we're gone."
I
So,
would love to watch the episode where you discuss that.
yeah, it's on the internet somewhere. So
Oh, you've already made an episode?
me and Addicts talked about it before.
Okay. Well, I'll go watch that one. But you could also make a new one with
I
Porter
would
or whatever
definitely
you're
make a
thinking.
new one. I would definitely. If I have the energy tonight, it may not. It may not. But that was some scandalous shit. That's some scandalous shit, Shannon Miller and Steve Nuno. But going into the all around competition now look, everybody, for real. If you have not watched the 2005 World Championships, I implore you, I beg of you, go back, take a few moments out your life, and go enjoy a really good competition. You're going to see some things that you are used to seeing now, but it's just going to look a lot more prettier. You don't see a lot less of them, but the ones you do see are going to be beautiful and almost perfectly done. Um, Lilia Pokapaeva was your 1995 World All-Around Champion.
Wait,
I
what were you
believe,
talking about in 2005? Which skill? Which skills?
like a Chinese young lady. Oh, I can't think of her name. She did a full twist and double layout in
In 2005?
1995. I'm so sorry, 1995.
Oh my god.
If I've been saying 2005, you guys, I meant to 1995 this whole time. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm sure no one else did what I did. I'm just out of it. Just went with what I heard.
So Lilia Pokapaiva was the all-around champion at Worlds, followed by Svetlana Bogan Scott. No, Svetlana Horkina came in second place, and Milosevic was the bronze medalist. Our top American was Dominique Mucianu, who I believe came in fifth place, and Carrie Struck came in seventh place, and Shannon Miller was way down there in like 12th place or something like that.
Exactly.
In the event finals, I think Lilia Pokapaiva and Gina Goshian tied for the gold medal.
Mm-hmm.
Lilia Pokapaiva and Simona Amanar tied for the gold medal. I think Gina Goshian came in third.
Yeah.
Our bars champion was Mo Elan. No.
She got the
Corkina?
silver
Corkina was the bars champion. This
with
was
the
the beginning of
9-9.
This was the beginning of Porkina's reign of uneven bars dominancy.
Because
Moe
who's the
won.
94 world champion on bars? It wasn't Piskun, was it?
No, it was I think her name is Lee Lee
Oh yeah. Okay.
or Lulu. I think it's Lulu. And I think it's
Luli or Lily?
something.
Or
I'm
is
so
it
sorry.
Luoli?
I think it's
Luoli.
Lee. I think that's what it is.
And she does like the jam that Chelsea does, right?
Yes. Yes. I think Horkina came in second in that competition.
Yes.
Um,
Me too.
I don't remember who came in third on even bars, but it wasn't
Which year?
95. It might have been Poker Pie Ava, but I don't remember.
She shared the silver with Mo.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. 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 So then we're moving over to Beam Finals. The 1995 Beam World Champion was Mo Elan because she cleared house with one of the best beam routines ever. And then I think tied for second was Poker Pie Ava and Dominique Mucianu. And that was the America's only individual event medal at this World Championships was Dominique Mucianu on balance beam. And we're moving over to floor exercise, where the gold medalist was Gina Goshian. The silver medalist was the young lady from China who did the full twist and double layout. I can't think of her name right now.
Di Lia.
And the bronze medalist was a French young lady who looked just like Carrie Strug. Oh my God, if y'all watch that competition, that girl looked just like Carrie Strug, named help me out, friend.
Oh, I'm not even sure how to pronounce your name, but maybe Ludivine Fernan?
Ludovine Fernand. It's okay, Nisha.
Hi, Nisha.
So,
Was
and that
Amanda
was,
Borden like dejected? Was she gonna retire when she didn't make this team?
I think she was hurt. I think she would have made the team if she was not injured. But I think she was trying to do some upgrades that wasn't necessarily working out for her. She was trying to learn how to do a Yurchenko vault. That was just scary. So I think she would have made this team. I don't know how she would have fared at Worlds.
But 95, or injury aside, when she was still trying to make the 95 team and she didn't make it. So was she like, I'm still gonna try for 96 Olympics? Or do you think it was like
She got hurt
question?
before nationals, so she didn't even try for the 95 Worlds. But
Oh, okay.
no, I think Amanda was in it for the long haul because she was She just missed out on the 92 Olympics. She wasn't the alternate, but she was the next person behind the alternate. So I think Amanda was in it for the long haul, regardless of what was going to happen. I think she was going to try. In between all of that, there was another competition. I don't think they had a world championship. I'm not a European championship that year. I think they had a European Cup. And I remember Svetlana Bogan. I keep saying Svetlana Bogan. Svetlana Horkina won that competition quite easily. So in 1995 began the real reign of Horkina, Lilia Pokapaeva. It introduced the world to Dominique Mucianu. Carrie Strug was up in her ranking on USA Gymnastics in 95. Immediately afterwards, Carrie Strug left Tom Forster and was like, Bella, you're coaching Dominique Mucianu. Well, bitch, you're going to coach me too. So she immediately went back to Bella Crowley right after the 1995 World Championships. Trying to think of some new skills that we saw in 95. Lilia Pokapaeva introduced clearly the Pokapaeva on floor, which is a double front with a half twist.
Makayla definitely started to like be more successful.
Oh yes, and Makayla would have won that all-around competition easily if she had not fallen on balance beam, because she was the only girl that they were scoring like 9-9 on basically every event. Now, I also think if Dominique Dawes was healthy enough for this Worlds, I think this might have been the time she won Worlds.
Do you think that the Chinese team, I feel like it's like one of the only teams that's like won a world medal recently they had like at least 2 front handspring pikes like half out, instead of the Yurchenko vaults. That's what I think when I think the 94 team or 95 team.
Yes. Well, and to be honest with you, those pike front half vaults for China was great improvements, because for a long time China was just stuck at the Yurchenko fulls, kind of like in nowadays gymnastics, and they could just never have girls who could do anything harder than the Yurchenko full. So for them having like 9.9 start values and 10.0 start values was a big improvement for China.
Do you remember if that was out of a 10?
Pike front half, no, it's a 9.9.
Was Dina Kochikova at 95 Worlds? Did she
Yes.
flop?
She didn't win any individual medals.
Right, she won a medal in 96 and 94. Right?
Yes, so probably.
I was so sad that Tatiana Lysenko retired in 95 or 94.
Yes, she couldn't keep up. Yeah, she would have been a great asset for the Ukrainian team at that time, because they needed somebody with the leadership, because all of their girls with experiences went to Russia.
Right, she was the only one from the last quad, who was a senior.
Now, let me tell y'all something. Now, if Lilia Pokapaeva was decided to compete for the Russian Federations, they would have been unstoppable, that quad. They would have been unstoppable.
I guess. But like in my mind, where's the where are they beating Romania? On bars?
Bars, vault, because she was a strong vaulter. Possibly she's adding another score for them on floor and beam. See, the thing with Russia is in that quad, they had a good top half of their lineup. They had a good 4 girls they could count on, but their bottom half of their lineup, their other 3 girls.
Oh no, I see the room for improvement on the Russian team. I'm just not sure that even with her scores, they would beat Romania.
But I would say this: if Romania could have sent their A team to Atlanta, I don't think the USA would have came in first place.
Definitely. Who would have been on the winning team?
For Romania,
Yeah, do you know the names that the gymnasts that well?
they needed Anna Maria Buchan not to have gotten hurt, and they needed
We were just talking about her.
huh?
We just were talking about her at Scam.
Yeah, because she was at 95 Scams, and then she got hurt right before I think like podium training for the Romanians, and then they brought in their alternate Angela Gimpu, who also got hurt. So then they had to bring in fly some girl from Romania. So then they just end up competing 6 girls and like made all 6 girls do the all around. And
Right.
some of those girls who never thought they were going to do the all around was forced to do all 4 events. So,
Though I remember like NBC or ABC like highlighting a bunch of like at least 2 bar routines that were not supposed to ever have been seen by judges.
mm-hmm.
And Gina had her appendectomy, right? Like weeks before. That was crazy.
So I mean, Romania did the best they could have with the team that they came back and won the Olympics the next go round. But
The
for
next
them
2
to,
in a row.
but for them to even medal here with all of the injuries that they had, I think it was still great.
Yeah, I would. That's definitely. I look at that differently.
Now, I really wish that Romania could have had their absolutely top team, and China, who sent their top team, was not flopping in their flop era. Because if China would have done what they needed to do, I don't think no team could have beaten them. I don't think no team was even close to China at this World Championship. I mean, at the '96 Olympics, no team was close to China.
Yes, okay, I agree. I wasn't sure about Worlds, but yeah.
In 1996, no team was close to China. It's just they were in their flop era so hard, like counting falls on every event. But if China could have hit, nobody was going to beat them.
I can't remember the falls that well.
Bars and beam. Bars and beam. The 2 events that they should not fall at, they were just in their flop errors.
When I think of China's had multiple flop eras, right? Like, but I think the
Every
hardest
year.
one was 2000.
Every year. Every year.
Every year. That's an exaggeration.
I just knew they was going to come in second place behind America at this Worlds. I just knew they were.
I mean, 95. That was their best Worlds team final.
Their best world team finals was 2006 when they won.
But they didn't count a fall in 95. And in 2006, they had like at least, they had a couple mid routines to me. They wouldn't have started 10s in score. These are
I don't know when China is going to have another strong era like that because every team that you think of when you could think of a successful China team, they actively pick a different body type of girl. I don't know when the next time they're going to do that.
Yeah, I feel like we won't know until we know, you know? It's like until she shows up. But I think it could be sooner than we think. For sure.
Hopefully. Well, hell, while we're talking about it, we were kind of talking about it before the show started. And hell, while we're talking about Romanian gymnastics, so you all know the shit that happened with Catalina Panora. In all honesty, you guys, I don't have a strong enough opinion about it to really talk about it one way or another. But what I will say is this. Don't sit up there and be a hypocrite on the internet just because the movement is going on. There has been lots of American gymnasts who said way worse stuff to other younger athletes who still were able to get higher ranking positions in USA Gymnastics, who are still national team coordinators, so on and so forth. So, I mean, I don't know if it really feels like it's some personal shit between Anna Barbosu and Catalina Pranor that has nothing to do with actual gymnastics. But if the whole if what started off this whole gymnastics Romania feud thing is Catalina Pranor telling Anna Barbosu that she needs to have her Yurchenko 1.5 more laid out. If that's the initial crime, I just really don't see the big deal. Now, Catalina's Panor's interview with Romania's gymnast, if that's the issue, then yeah, what she did was very crappy and crummy. But if the initial anger is she told the girl to keep her body laid out, I just don't see. I mean, maybe somebody can explain it to me in the comment section. I'm more than willing to hear it, but I just don't have an opinion about it one way or another that's that strong.
Yes.
Moving on. Is there any of your favorite gymnasts that signed to a school? Have you been surprised today about any of the signings that's been going on? Have you even been paying it any attention?
Today I was confused. I think I learned that today is called like signing day because people were posting about all these like commitments or whatever scholarships that I already had heard about. So I was like,
What it is when people say they're going to a school, they make a verbal commitment to, I'm going to go to the school. But then there's an official signing day where they actually sign their, okay, I'm going to this school, I'm accepting this scholarship.
so it's not legit until today.
Yes.
That's reason to celebrate. Cool.
They could still change their mind and go to any school until they actually sign and commit to a school, which was today.
The only ones that where I knew the gymnast already and I didn't know where they were going was Marissa Neal to Auburn. I think that's literally the only one. Everyone else I was like, I already knew was going to LSU or gosh, so many LSUs. OU, Al Mueller. Yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely true, Nisha. How do you feel about Shiley's not officially signing with any school yet? And this was probably, I think, her last year to sign with the school. So if she didn't sign this year, it was too late for her to get a college scholarship for gymnastics, I think.
Wait, what was the last part? It what?
I think this was her last year of eligibility to even sign to a school.
This which year? Like this before the Olympics?
No, I think she needed to commit to a school this year, or else she lost her eligibility to compete for a school for gymnastics. Because I think it's only a certain, I think it's like you have like 2 or 3 years after you leave high school to commit, I think.
Right. I just would want to know for sure. Definitely. And also, I definitely hope that I want to see Charlize compete in college because I want to see Charlize compete more. It doesn't have to be in college, but that sounds fun to me.
I don't know. I
But
don't
I'm
know.
curious what her plan is, regardless of if college has nothing to do with it, or at least being a student athlete. I think it's kind of funny that she has like put it off so much, or at least that's what like a lot of people's perception is. I haven't heard her talk so much about it herself.
I'm not sure. I'm not even sure if she would even want to go to Florida still.
That was weird when they were posting about at Worlds in the Florida. Social media didn't like acknowledge her.
Somebody said it's because she hasn't ever signed with Florida. She just made a verbal commitment to Florida. And because she never signed on one of these commitment days, she has no obligation to Florida, and Florida has no obligation to her.
I know. So it's very much like, oh, we would need an obligation to like say something nice about you, or like celebrate you.
They didn't say nothing about Jocelyn either. So I guess.
I know, but they have a closer relationship with her, from what I can tell, from what I see. Like Jocelyn didn't want to go to UF.
I mean, she did visit UF.
Yeah, but I don't think she wanted to go. Just because she's been so, at least if I'm taking what she's saying as like the truth, she's talked a lot about how much she likes the school she chose and how much she's wanted to go there for a number of years.
Do you think the girls that decide to go to Utah regret their decision, or do you think they still believe in the program?
Like generally, because like I don't know who's going to Utah. Do you?
Not really, but just in general. I know they did get some recruits, so
I'm sure they did, but like someone a bigger name or something. I'm sure there are people that regret it, or at least are like thinking like, have I done something that I should regret? Questioning the decision. And then I'm also not surprised at people who are like just moving forward as if nothing happened, or like wanting or seeing it the way that it's being told to them from the people who like are denying Carr's story and the other stories of like the abusive coaching.
do you feel like Utah should fire Tom Fortin? Do you think something should happen? Do you think it should be a decision within the Utah program, and us as fans need to stay out of it?
No, because, well, I don't know. Like, I feel like someone should hold him accountable fairly, and like the girls are talking about how the measures they've taken, like, they felt like that didn't happen. But so I don't really have a preference. But like the only reason I would have a preference over one or the other if it's inner or like outer third party investigation would just be if they're able to actually be unbiased. And yeah, sorry, I feel like I'm repeating myself.
No, you're not. All I have to do is, my only retort to it is they did do a third party investigation and they found him not guilty of anything. So I'm not sure.
Right, that's what I meant by like the girls have spoken up about it already. Like they're questioning if that they will be able to coach. Instead, I feel like that from what I've heard, they're more like the other side is like just dismissing the idea that anything happened altogether. Like it's all made up or blown out of proportion.
I would say more of blowing it out of proportion. That's what. How I view the other side narrative of the whole thing is.
I would be fine. Let's fire him. Because especially since he's been there for so long.
Who would they replace him with?
Oh, I have no idea. Aren't there like endless people to replace? Endless gymnastics coaches?
I don't know.
Did you know Janelle before she was like made the head coach at UCLA?
No, I didn't. I didn't know who she was. To be honest. And I kind of think that's a good thing. I kind of think that's what we need. We need less personalities. We just need more coaches. We need less figureheads. We need less people who crave media attention. We need less people who want to do interviews. We need more people who just, care about getting their teams the highest team score as possible.
Wait, we need more of that?
Less of people who's trying to be personalities, more of people who just care about their teams and winning championships.
The team, not just the high score.
Yes. They're athletes in general, like doing best by their athletes, not trying to be media personalities.
Are you interested in like pointing out like teams you think do good jobs of that?
Sure.
Or like maybe you're not.
No, we could talk about it. I think Janelle is a great example. Like, yeah, she'll do interviews and stuff, but you could tell like it's more about the team and letting like the athletes get their shine. Whereas Valerie Condos Fields was going to be right there in the camera at every chance she got. Valerie Condos Fields was going to make it known that she was the head coach of this team. If you was going to do an interview with one of her athletes, she was going to say a word or two in that interview. Jay Clark is another one who's so much a media personality. Like, I'm not saying that he's not a great coach, but that man wants to be on camera. He wants to do interviews. He wants to give his opinion.
Where's Fayetteville?
I have no idea. Nisha said that UCLA floor lineup is going to be crazy with Shay, Selena, Mars, Naya, Emma, and Brooklyn.
Not you putting Naya before Emma and Brooklyn.
Fayetteville. She says Northwest Arkansas. Oh, where Jordan coach at. Nisha lives in Arkansas.
Oh, the Razorbacks.
Hmm.
So which teams do you? I feel like you said the ones that aren't doing it well.
Oh, coaches who are doing. I feel like Janelle is doing it well.
Oh,
I
right.
feel like the head coach of the University of Michigan is doing it well. I don't even know who the hell the man or lady is who's the head coach of University of Michigan. That's how well they're doing it. Those are the only two examples I have right now. I'll get back with you with some more examples.
I met both two really big coaches, and they were so friendly to me. So
Cool.
I like the coach of Florida and OU. They both gave me hugs and like talked to me. It was so nice. So
I think KJ at OU does a good job of doing just enough media to let you know that she's the head coach, but not like it's not overbearing. I think NCAA season 2025 is going to be awesome.
not this year.
I think this year is going to be good. I think 2025 that's when it's going to get like spicy again. Like I think we're going to have
because a lot of the people will be out of it.
But we're going to get a lot of new people too.
I know. You love like the old people retire. I feel.
It's not that I love that the old people are retiring. It's just
it's a natural cycle.
Yes.
I love it too.
I love it too. So in our last, let's try to keep around an hour and a half. So in the last 7 minutes or so, 6 minutes or so, is there anything? I know you're not the biggest NCAA fan, but is there anything in the upcoming season that you are looking forward to?
Oh my gosh. I'm giving this like zero thought, but like I know there are things. I just like don't have the names, don't have the.
I'm looking forward to seeing how UCLA is going to do in their new conference. I'm looking forward to seeing how this new conference works out. I'm looking forward to seeing what gymnastics is like without the Pac-12. Like that's a big.
What's it called? Their new conference.
Oh, they're going to the Big Ten with Michigan, UCLA.
And that makes sense. How? Like geographically?
It doesn't. It doesn't. I don't know where Utah's going. I think Utah is going in the same division as like where Oklahoma is now. I think next year Oklahoma is going to the SEC. So yeah, that's going to be fun seeing how these shifts in school conferences play out over the next few years.
Michigan will be more competition than they've ever faced before in their conference.
Oh, absolutely. Nisha said Utah's going to the Big 12. I have no clue who's in the Big 12, so okay.
Big 10.
Is the Big 12 the same as Michigan and UCLA? Because wow, that would be a strong conference, bitch, with Michigan, Utah, UCLA, Minnesota. That'd be a strong conference.
Iowa, Ohio.
No, Michigan is in the Big Ten. So they have a Big 10 and a Big 12. I'm supposed to know the difference between the two, Nisha. I'm just joking.
No, but like also where can I learn about this? I don't know.
I don't know either. Utah is basically replacing OU in the Big. Oh, okay. Well, that means Utah. Oh, because Utah is going to have Denver now.
So which one was Utah in before?
Pac-12 with UCLA.
Oh, okay. And you
Where is Stanford and Cal going? Nisha, if you know. Because they also work in the Big 12.
They broke it up. It doesn't exist anymore. Everyone needs a new conference.
Yes. And where is the carries going? All of them going to Big 12? Well, that's Stanford and Cal to the ACC. Wow. Okay. I have no idea what other schools are in the ACC, so that's just like, okay.
Does this feel like a more talented group of like what are they called? Or high school seniors, I guess. The girls who signed today. Or
Yes.
is it
Oregon State will be without a conference. What does that mean?
Clemson
and North Carolina. Okay, well then Stanford and Cal is for to clear the ACC for a while.
Why does it feel more talented than normal?
College gymnastics is on a bigger stage, so the talent going to college gymnastics is at a different level. Plus NIL, college gymnastics has a whole different.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. College gymnastics has a whole different ramification than it used to have, in my opinion.
Like status and stuff?
Status, like, I think you can go to college and win a national title and receive the same prestige as somebody who went to the Olympics and won a gold medal.
Oh yeah, you said that before.
And we're coming up to the hour and 30-minute mark, and that's where I like to keep the show at about, everybody. Thank you, Oscar. Oscar, how can they find you? And please let them know about your YouTube channel. It's wonderful over there.
Thanks. Thank you. Okay. If you on YouTube, I think it's just the same username. It's Catfish Crenshaw with a K. So yeah, check out my videos. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And Oscar learned how to stream, so we might get some streams over there from Oscar, huh?
Maybe. I don't want to commit to anything yet.
Perfect. And you can always find me at Makayla Loves Gymnastics here at the YouTube channel. Thank you, you guys. We're almost at 800 subscribers. Please like, share, and subscribe to the video. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Please like and share all the videos that you see, all of our shorts. Thank you. And if I'm up for it tomorrow, I might give you guys a solo episode, but I can't make no promises. But you might get a solo episode from me tomorrow about something. I love you guys. Thank you for Oscar. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.